live? Okay, I was about to say, because got the quality started. Ah, right.
You need to take this. Oh, my God, simply. What should we have? Well, grip penalty going on.
Well,
Giggity. Mm-hmm.
hello, guys. Don't worry, we haven't gone anywhere. We just simply had a leave of absence. Hello and welcome back. It's the WWRL Championship. Once again, I am back, and it's good to be back after a week of absence, unfortunately, due to real-life complications. We are here in the grand city of Bahrain. Of course, one of the many tracks as we are. Sorry, I do have to stop, as Desi unfortunately has taken an absolute plummet right there. Sorry, while we move through from the intro. We do apologise for obviously arriving late. Unfortunately, we had a bit of streaming difficulties, but we are back here. Once again, I am lovely and delighted to announce that I have once again my co-commentator, my race engineer, my beloved friend, my Dutch adversary. It is Max. Max, welcome back, and lovely to see you again.
And for me, it was the leave of absence for the amount.
Was it the leave
drink,
of absence?
For the amount of drink that passed through my system in the last few weeks. So, the Kingdom of Bahrain. Now, usually with these streams, you get me talk about how the track was built, all of that. We did that last season.
Oh yeah, we did.
We took the mickey out of a Herman Tilke track. It's too easy. So, I'm going to tell you just a short paragraph about Bahrain, which is the third smallest country in Asia, only slightly bigger than Singapore and the Maldives. It is an island nation, but you can actually drive to it as there is a 16-mile suspended bridge which separates Bahrain from South Arabia. A 16-mile long bridge.
I can't walk. I mean, I could walk that, but I'd rather I choose not to. I'll choose not to.
25,000 cars a day.
I guess it's like one of those. It's like if you try and walk like Central Park, like Twinton. I mean, at start it's probably a good idea until you actually start it. Let's face it.
You just think, well, why have I put myself through
exactly?
Bahrain is only 47 years old, so it's one of the youngest countries on the calendar, and it was in fact the first Middle Eastern country to host a Grand Prix in 2004. It was won, of course, in 2004 by Michael Schumacher. He won most of the races in 2004. And that generally, if you look at the calendar, started a trend, and now we actually have quite a lot of races in the Middle East, including new ones like Saudi Arabia.
Oh yeah, in Jeddah, that which looks to be quite an interesting one.
It looks a bit fast.
It looks fast. It looks epic. I'm not gonna lie. It looks really, really good. And I don't know if you remember me saying this when the actual track layout actually came out. it looked like a bent spoon. Like someone had just chewed in the middle of the end of it.
Yeah, exactly. It does look like someone's had a bit of a chewy on the spoon there. But speaking of street circuits, it's been so long since we've commentated. We also have Miami joining the calendar next year.
We do.
Which has actually seen quite a bit of backlash. A lot of people think it's a bit samey, street circuit, long straights, S's in the middle. Look, if there's one thing we know about the F1 track designer is that he likes to do things one way, and if he gets success on doing it, he'll repeat it. But it looks interesting to me because there's some really slow sections and then really long straights. So that's a compromise on setup. What do you do? Do you target the middle, medium speed sectors, or do you go all in for straight line speed and lose out in the middle sector? That for me is interesting, and no one's talking about that.
Well, to be honest, I mean, when it comes to everyone was saying it's like if there was ever going to be a Grand Prix in Miami, they would have thought it would have been on Long Beach. I mean, especially along the side.
Isn't Long Beach, California?
I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
Is it actually?
They have the what's the American version of IndyCar? They do a Long Beach track, which is the same as
So they do. But the thing is that you would have thought it would have been along the beach, but it's not. It's actually being produced literally around by around Hard Rock Stadium, which is home to the American football team, the Miami Dolphins.
Exactly. It looks interesting, and speaking of setup, the track we're racing on today, talking about compromising setups, I was just talking to you a few hours ago about this track, and it's how you could easily just run your normal Bahrain setups for it, but this cuts out the twisty middle sector, so realistically, this is a Monza-style setup we should be going for, low downforce, maximising straight line speed, and let's just have a look at a few of the times that are popping up here. We've got Stephen Osh on pole at the moment with 58 flat. So, I think you were saying you've got high 58.
I think I got, I aimed around about a high 58, so 58.8 I think I pushed. But it depends on what everyone else is using. Someone's actually gone for 1 minute. Okay, that is SND Snow. Very good chap. And he actually, hello, Mike FIFA's gone off as well.
Mike FIFA's gone off. Who's on an outlet? Let's ride on board with the Williams as FS2560.
Yes, Williams, obviously, I believe he's coming on towards the final corner.
Now,
so you don't know this track, or
I roughly know it.
You roughly know it.
I could tell you where it's going. The interesting fact is there aren't too many places to make up time because it is mostly all straight. So what we do is we shoot up through the main pit straight, DRS wide open. You want to be maxing out on 8th gear by the time you reach the braking zone. So this guy's geared perfectly. You're braking about just before the 100-metre mark, swing in, kiss the apex. This is a tricky corner for traction as the rear likes to get loose over that curb. You bring yourself wide, swing in right. You see, I wouldn't attack that curb too much. You cannot settle the car at quite big curbs there. Through here, you want to make this corner as wide as possible and really attack the inside, as we'll see here. You see, really threw it into the inside, lets it drift out wide and brings it back. Now you've got a double right-hander. Try not to touch that curb too much.
But he managed to collect it, but I think that may have ruined his lap a little bit.
Commentators, like, as soon as we ride on board with someone, they make a mistake. So obviously, just 2 more corners left anyway. This one,
I believe we are on with Tun as well.
So someone who came in halfway through last season, extremely impressive. Always there or thereabouts. He's 4th at the moment. Let's see if he can find 2 tenths and try and nick pole.
Let's have a look. By the looks of things, the 2 chaps for the Alpha Tauri, the 2 teammates that are pretty much a talking point. I mean, it's the fact that these 2 have actually been absolutely solid over the past couple of races, even towards the end of last season when you had Mighty FIFA actually doing quite well. Once again, them 2 are locking out the 2nd and 3rd.
Well, I mean, they've helped each other out in the races before. I'm sure they're actually on speaking terms in real life. I would have to ask Marty and Basabi, but they have been there or thereabouts since the first race I commentated on, and I've always liked watching them and the 2 Haas drivers, Bremboy and Desi. They always seem to be up for a battle, so no complaints, but Tim has dislodged them onto the front row. Tim 1404. That's Tim Mummer, sorry, with 2 M's. Tim Mummer.
Tim Mummer.
But see what Toon can do.
Toon is wow. Look at that. He is literally just literally 100.
Yeah, dead on, isn't it?
100.
Yeah, that's insane. Stephen Osher, I think the last race we commentated on, Azerbaijan, he got pole, didn't he, there?
I believe he did get pole.
Yeah, you see, this guy's seriously fast.
Ooh, I don't know if Toon made the right decision there in stopping there. That could have been really naughty, I think. Let's have a look. Stephen Osh. Stocko Saints, the man from Britain. The man from Britain himself, Stocko Saints, is got pole position. That is
milliseconds. I mean, this is some crazy stuff. In fact, I did find a story. I was listening to an F1 podcast talk about crazy times in qualifying. The 1997 season finale at Bahrain in Spain. The 3 people. So Schumacher was on pole. Jacques Villeneuve was in second, and he set the exact same time to that 3rd decibel as the 2 people behind him as well. So 3 people set the exact same time to the 4th decibel, and they had to determine it by who did it first. It's insane.
Considering, oh my God, Wasabi, that is ridiculous. He's just pulled literally just 2 thousandths of a second behind Stocko. This is ridiculous. Look at the gaps. I mean,
is he going to improve? No, I think he's going again. I think he had to pull out of that lap.
He is. He's going full hill because of the fact that he's literally just had the DRS open. But
look at those gaps.
Literally,
silly.
Literally 04, 06, 08, 19, 32, 52. That is ridiculous.
I mean, that's not even a blink of an eye.
That really isn't. That is this. I think we could be in for a quality race. Oh my God, Marty people with a 57.989.
We've broken into the 57s. The track does evolve on this game in qualifying, folks. So the more cars that go out, the faster the track becomes. Kind of like real life, and they've simulated that on this year's game. There's you can expect maybe the times to come down even more, but that's still insane when you think it's under a minute. Straight line speed is so important around here. Stevens, oh my word!
Oh wow! I mean,
that's a 2-lap old tyre as well.
That is a 2-lap old tyre, and it's not like just by a hair. He's actually gone by quite a bit. Slightly bit more of a distance than everyone else has pulled off, but wow, that's incredible.
Let's have a look at Other Floyd down in 15th place. He's on an outlap at the moment, and see what Other Floyd can do in the.
I believe he's coming up to the pit straight now. Yes, he's on pit straight now. What can he pull on? 15. He ain't gonna.
No, this is his.
Oh no, this is his outlap.
Now, yeah.
So let's see what he can produce.
Got some yellow flags up ahead. It looks like that Racing Point had a wee bit of a struggle there.
It has.
Of Abe John, but we will.
That is my teammate.
Is it?
That is my teammate.
So he's in number 1 as well.
I think he was the reserve driver for number 1. So
this is a good race to throw in, because at the end of the day, there aren't too many places to make or lose time. It's all straights. And just getting the car turned in.
Oh, Floyd is
a lot of understeer there, and that's easily done. You really do need to attack.
Floyd is easing off now. I think he knew what's happened. Yeah. I think he's going to set himself up.
So Toon's on another outlap. So sorry, Other Floyd. We're going to now skip on to Toon.
Go on to Toon.
As he just swerves just to get a bit more tyre temperatures.
I think he locked up on the right on there, on the right front.
Maybe he was swerving before the braking zone, which is the easy way to lock up, is to turn and brake at the same time. As you exceed the amount of available grip. He's just pulling off the racing line, so I guess someone's going to shoot through, maybe? No,
you got a chap in the Ferrari. I believe that may be TSM Daniel. On his outlap as well, is because he was swerving about as well. So
let's see what Toon can do. Can he get into the 57s now with Mike FIFA and Stephen Osh?
Right, let's see. Indeed, I'll tell you what. We'll stay on with as well Daniel as well, because obviously he's currently in 17th at the moment. He's actually been promoted from T2 into T1 just for this race as a reserve driver. So you can only imagine what he can probably put up at the moment. so far he's actually what can only be described for as a tier 2 time, but we can only see if he can actually pull off anything much better.
I have to
As
say, Tun got a
is looking quite
beautiful
decently.
rotation for a lot of the corners. It doesn't look particularly fast, but that sometimes means that it is. If we go through, that's theoretically a double right-hander. That corner there is full of understeer. You really have to work hard.
He's using pretty much all track right there. He's
even making the corners as wide as possible.
You don't see that in normal Formula 1, do you?
You don't, no, and it's because they're starting to cut down on track limits greatly and too right. Let's see what he does.
Oh, wow! He beats Mighty FIFA. He's knocked off Mighty FIFA and Stocko Saints off podium places.
TSSM Daniel going up to 11th as well.
Well, very well played.
Let's see, so we've got on an outlet, Mighty FIFA.
Got Mighty FIFA, we've got Stocko Saints, we've got Basabi, and we've got McVela. Valet. We try and pronounce it every week, we can't. And then you've also got Brenboy as well as a new one here. I think it's Stingy here.
Who do you fancy riding on board with?
I'll tell you what. Who's closest to the line? I believe it is. I'm trying to find out.
Wasabi, isn't it?
No, I believe it's Brenboy.
Right, let's have a look and see what Brenboy can do. He's ninth at the moment with his Haas teammate. I'm sure the Haas team would take that in real life.
I mean, let's face it. I mean, so far it hasn't been a fantastic give. Oh, it's done very wide.
A lot of there in this car. He's clearly done what I mentioned. He's stripping off all downforce on this car, and it means you've got to work real hard.
He's also, I think, an extended track limit. Yeah, he's backed out.
Let's have a look at maybe Mighty FIFA. Yeah, let's have a look at Mighty FIFA.
Let's have a look at Mighty FIFA. Mighty FIFA's obviously coming up towards the first corner. He's kept his revs really high there, and I thought that would happen. Lock up there on the right.
Yeah, his revs were extremely high there. Which is, again, it's an easy way to lock up because you're pushing the car too much. But he's going to continue. He will have lost a little bit of time, but it's not impossible to overturn the advantage that Stephen Oshker's got. He's also on an outlap. So we'll stick on board with Mighty FIFA until the end of this lap and switch on to Stephen Oss. He's just gone through the finish line now. But no, we will skip on board with him. Or are we? What's happening?
Yes, we'll stay on board with
Stephen Oss. So he's on provisional pole at the moment. And let's see if he can secure his position.
Taking it into sector 2 now. It's coming up onto the DRS rate. Turner's gone second. He's staying there. Mighty FIFA, what can he produce? I believe he should be coming up to the time now. He's just gone into second. He's on front row by literally not much, but I believe Stephen Osh maybe
is a really clean lap at the moment. He doesn't actually need to improve, which is worth mentioning because everyone else has set a time.
You've still got Stocko Saints. That could be a threat still.
Let's see what Stocko can do.
He's actually coming up to the double. He's literally just behind him on the double right.
Well, let's stick with Stocko. We'll see what. Keep our eye on Stephen Osh's time. If it moves,
he's gone straight into the pit, so he's happy with it.
He's gambling, thinking that Stocko's got no way of taking this. Is Stocko going to take this?
You never know. What's he going to produce? Wow! He's actually done it! That's actually quite incredible! Stocko Saints, the man from Britain himself, has taken pole position! Wow!
That's absolutely crazy. Stephen Osh pulls out of his lap thinking it was all done. It wasn't all done. We've got a Stocko Saints. I believe that's his first pole position.
That is his first pole position. This is he hasn't had a chance to get on the podium since Zandvoort of last season.
Exactly.
This could be a very good chance now for Stocko Saints. Absolutely incredible.
Well, this is what sometimes a bit of complacency. Stephen Oss has been top of the timing sheets this entire session, and right at the end there, pipping him by quite a decent amount. It's
quite a margin, yeah.
But I mean, considering this is just 4 straights with a couple of corners, that's actually quite a bit of time he's found. That's impressive. And well, it's going to be a slipstream fest in the race, so I'm looking forward to it.
It'll be absolutely fantastic. Cannot wait for this. So we'll give you a rundown as qualification has now been well and truly finished. We'll see if we can get the leaderboard back up while we're waiting for it. Here we go. So we're going to go in order. We're going to go 19th. We're going to go with Arnish Seth in the Ferrari, followed by Other Floyd in the Williams. They are at the moment at the two back markers, followed by Lightning 66, whose teammate is on pole position. You got Jan, which is from my teammate, so he'll be looking forward to that. SMD Snow, he's gone into 15th, going up into 10th. New boy, Stingy here is actually gone 10th, followed by Bren Boy. But the first three, Stocko Staines, the Brit himself, Stephen Osh and Marty FIFA, absolutely quality. Literally, that's an absolute brilliant short qualifying we had right there. That is brilliant. Probably one of the best we've actually seen so far. That is absolutely fantastic in terms of quality. We are pretty much about to get ready for the race for the qualification, the formation lap. Now, this is a very, very important lap, of course. You're trying to get those temperatures up on the wheel, trying to make sure that all the rubber is not entirely gone. But we'll see what we can produce. We've also got a return of one Basil Brush, I believe. Basil Brush has returned, Matt. I mean, he's a British icon here and over here.
That's it.
But yeah, we love Basil Brush.
That's exactly it. Ha ha ha! Boom boom.
Yes, we love it indeed. Anyway, they're going to be starting now. The obviously what setups they're going to be using, what the fuel they're going to be using, the strategies. Now, Matt, the strategies. I mean, I don't know if you've ever done a race on the Bahrain short, which I don't believe you have. No, that's a shake of the head, right? I can see right there. What would you? I mean, not really much tyre wear going on there. It's just straight. What would you say in terms of gut? I mean just gut feeling.
So I'd probably try and stick to the fastest tyres. Do maybe a 2-stop on medium. So you go soft, medium, medium is probably what I'm looking doing over the 57 laps. 57 laps is going to be nearly about a minute a lap, so I'm going to be commentating for quite a while. But that's exactly what I would do. I would go soft, medium, medium. Of course, if you're starting on a medium, then no idea. Good luck to you.
I mean, I can't unless they're literally looking to go. I mean, Desi's on a medium right now, so in Haas. So is he looking to probably go a little bit further into the race, and then when everyone possibly goes, hello, what's going on there? With a McLaren literally going out wide there, I believe that may have been turned. It was quite weird, but I can only imagine, obviously, like when all the other tyres go, it wouldn't surprise me then if these mediums keep on going and then do the more faster stint at the end.
There's just a lot of unknowns here because, first of all, these guys haven't done a full race distance yet, which means that the tyres are going to last longer than they do on the 50% races. So there's a lot of unknowns here, which is going to, I believe, catch a lot of people off guard. And yeah, I'm just thinking what Stocko must be thinking right now. He's never been on pole before. He's taken it at the last minute, and he knows he's got a very fast Stephen Osh right behind him, and quite a run down to turn one.
Indeed, we're going to be looking forward to seeing that, and definitely. So they're coming up towards the start of the end of the formation lap as we're coming towards the lights there right now. Obviously, everyone has got their tyres up, nice and warm, I believe. I'm hoping so. But they're going to be there probably a little bit longer than they need to be, as you've got a drive in the back there.
It's someone who's way out of position, so the CPU will just take over.
Yeah, CPU is underactive. You can see him. He's gone right into the.
I think that's Basabi.
It could be Basabi. We're not entirely sure.
Yeah, not sure what he was doing back there, but he's back in position and we're getting ready.
It's here in Bahrain. It is here. It's lights out. Remember, there's a pause. And away we go as Stephen Osh. Yes, Turner's got a decent start, so is Stephen Osh. Stocko Staines has gone down. It's gone down to third. Now McVeigh's gone in.
Contact.
There is contact. There's a free abreast going into that first corner. They're saying McVeigh's gone up to second, followed by Turn.
Where's McVeigh come from?
That is interesting to see. There's still two going to abreast. Look at him.
Stephen Osh already got a second gap. See you later, lads.
See you guys. Unfortunately, it's yellow flags. It is hi John. It is my teammate. Unfortunately, right back in there, must have had a lot of contact. May have been the one that we obviously seen. Stephen Osh, second already in front, followed by Turner in second, followed by Vela in the Renault, who's a very, very unlikely competition on this. Another second one, we've got a spinner. It is Anish Seth.
I think he's touched the inside curb.
He's got a bit of damage.
He's got a bit of damage. He's touched the inside curb, and I think, and then he's lit his tyres up. They're going to be dead.
Yep. And look, there's the prediction. There's the predictive.
Okay.
There's the predicted one stop.
Right, let's have a look. Stocko Saints is right up the butt of Taylor here. Obviously, DRS won't be open for a few laps, but you can expect to see pretty much a slipstream fest from here because it's straight, and there's going to be a lot of overtaking. This will be very much like the Sakir Grand Prix from earlier last year.
Obviously, this is different between the Sakir Grand Prix of last year, because obviously you still had that middle section, which was still, you needed grip, obviously, to go through the chicanes.
Very bumpy, that part of the track. In fact, if anyone watches endurance racing, they use the full Bahrain circuit, which is slightly longer, almost the same length as Spa. And they use all the infield section and everything, and it's so bumpy there. And that's probably why it's not used on F1. I think they used it once in 2010, and it was too bumpy.
By looks of things, the two at the bottom are Orangen and also Anastasia. They came into, I'm guessing, a bit new wings. So they are from last. Probably wouldn't surprise me if they get lapped at some point. So they're already a lap down already as we're going into lap 3. Stephen Osh with almost literally a 1 second, 1.5 seconds already in front.
He's pushing heavily.
He is pushing quite
heavily. Really heavy. He's not used a lot of his ERS deployment.
He has used quite a bit of it. Is he expecting probably maybe a safety car coming out? Maybe, I don't know.
No idea, but he's definitely used a lot. And as you can see, there's a huge train behind him. I think a couple of them will feel if they could get past Tun, they could probably put a challenge.
Possibly. I mean, we'll have a look at Stocko at the moment. He's up behind Vela. Now, obviously, DRS is now open, so he's going to be looking to try and see what he can do. But, unfortunately, he has got a DRS train behind him. Although, he could be using his ERS, which he is using, but he's not really gaining much. Hardly a move, unless he tries and...
I think he's going for
it. He's going for the braking zone. He's got a bit out-braked himself. He's lost that position again, so he's going to have to do it all over again. DRS... No, maybe not. I completely forgot what track we're on. But don't worry.
Loose out of there, and he's going to have lost the time. This is a hard overtake down here.
It's very hard overtake. You need to be more than close than that.
Exactly. I think I expected Tun to be a bit of a sitting duck up that straight, but Movela had a really bad exit as Anish Seth gets a 3-second penalty. They will clock up pretty quickly around here, especially on this corner. We're on board with Stocko. They're very easy to drift out wide with the understeer.
Definitely. I've been caught out a couple of times while doing practice. I mean, the fact that you've got so much momentum and try and literally break it at a right time and then do the turn in, you do always tend to go off a little bit.
Really good exit there after a lockup. But also, what a lot of people don't take into account on that corner is that it does drop downhill a little bit. So the track slips away from you. So you've got to turn in even more than you think, and it's a blind apex.
Yeah, it's quite. I just noticed actually it is a blind apex.
We've got Movela really punishing his tyres, locking up quite a lot here, but he's got a lot of pace. Shall we get on board with him and see if he can put Tun under a bit of pressure?
He has ERS.
He does. Let's have a look at Tun. Let's see what he's got. Very similar.
Very similar. So these two are actually probably the sort of same driving styles as each other. As Stephen Osh once again still wants second. That's so aggressive right through there, but I don't know if that was probably a bit too much because you've got Stocko Saints gained a tad.
It's such a difficult corner. It's as tricky. It's not quite.
Lock up there by Movela. Could this be Stocko Saints' chance? I don't know. Remember, they've still got it. Arnish Steph has retired from the race. Yeah, I think he's probably had enough.
Not an easy thing when you take contacts on the first lap to keep going.
Another locker by Vela. His tyres are going to be going.
Vela's really
safety
slow.
car.
That is strange.
Oh, it's Stingy here is literally. I mean, That's right on the. Luckily enough, it doesn't bring anything into rules on the Formula One game. That obviously that the pit entry is closed because he's literally planted literally before the pit entry.
In real life,
In real life, that would have been closed.
Exactly.
But,
yeah, there's obviously in real life you've got people that are volunteers. They don't get paid for recovering the cars. The stewards, they are volunteers who have to go onto a dangerous track. And I thought that was really weird. I thought McVayla had a problem and he was going extremely slow. I didn't see the safety car message because I wasn't expecting one.
No, I wasn't expecting it either. And then I obviously saw the yellow flashing in the corner. I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. Something's gone off. I wonder what. But
someone pulled out. Stephen Osh thought about coming in there and pulled out right at the last minute. That was it.
That could be under investigation possibly because the whole point is obviously you are not to go looking like you're supposed to go into the pits and then come back out. That has been penalised before.
Okay.
I remember Sebastian Vettel had that same problem. I think in Baku one time.
But what the rules for this league, is it the same?
I believe it should be the same because obviously you are pretty much following F1 FIA rules.
Right.
The fact that you're not supposed to go into the pit lane, right, and then pit out again while you, I believe, cross the line.
Okay.
But I think we'll have to have a look back at that. I'm not entirely sure whether or not Stephen Osh did cross the line.
It looked like someone swerved out at the last second to me, but we will have to look at that. So a couple of people diving in the pits, but Vela going onto the hards. So probably playing to 50 laps on the hards. I mean, it's doable. There isn't a lot of wear around here, clearly, because everything was predicted as a one-stop. But this could be an interesting. We've got Wasabi and both going to have penalties here.
I believe. I think Brenboy may have just smacked into the side of Wasabi. I think Wasabi could be asking to get that removed at some point. That has happened quite a lot recently with Wasabi, where it doesn't really help him that much because you've also see if I ride along Wasabi, can't see it just yet, but I believe Brenboy may have had some damage. So
yeah. So he's going to have to serve the penalty.
They're going to have to serve the penalty, which is going to be agony. But let's face it, no damage from Brenboy either. So that's going to be interesting.
Interesting indeed.
Interesting to see what actually happened then. Unfortunately, Wasabi had to come in and had to serve that at some point. Wasabi's going on to the hards. He's looking to go up, he's looking to go the whole race.
Interesting.
I mean, 49 laps.
I'm not too sure if Stephen Osh, and albeit for me to I'm just going to play devil's advocate, and I think he maybe could have pitted here. I mean, he's going to have stronger tyres at the end of the race, but the whole field is bunched up now, and that was a chance to get off the softs, which aren't. Although obviously, as a 100% race, they will last longer than he used to. They're still not great racing tyres. They're qualifying tyres, the softs. You would have thought maybe try and get onto the mediums and go a bit further into the race. But I mean, we'll see.
By looks of things, we're going to have one more lap for the safety car.
Yes.
So safety car is in this lap.
That was a late.
That's a very late safety car. Okay, that's interesting. We're off racing again. Here we go again.
Let's have a look and see.
Tuna's actually got a very good start. He's got the ERS straight away open.
Stephen Oscar's been caught out there by the late call. He's going to brake at an angle and make this move difficult. Oh my word, this is so close to contact.
Oh, I don't know. I think that was a bit naughty by Stephen Osh. I think they should have given him a little bit more room because Chun actually had the inside line and it was side by, and at one point they were side by side.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how behind you are, even though you are in front, you still need to give that position up. Unfortunately, you do need to give the safety. Of the car.
I mean, it was hard racing. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt now, but that was quite sketchy. And he then picks up a whole bunch of understeerers. The front just slides, and you could see the difference in exit here.
Turn's probably going to have to. Turn might have to wait a little bit. What is the exit like?
Not as good.
Not as good, but still on the slipstream. He's going to use the ERS right now. He's got the slipstream right now going onto the straight. Easily overdone.
Easy.
easily done, even before the breaking point. So let's see what's Stephen Osh probably had a look for it, but he couldn't have it. Stocko Saints back up to third with Martin FIFA. Where is Basabi? He's still on the hards. He's currently in 16th. But Baylor is in 10th at the moment.
He pitted as well.
He did pit as well.
Very good restart.
And he's on the hards as well.
Wow, I'm sure Stephen Osh really didn't expect to be jumped, but I think he got caught out by the safety car in this lap, and he just didn't have time to prepare himself. And that point, you're going to get slipstreamed hundreds of meters all the way up the main straight, but it's not over. He can fight back.
Turn right there before the final turn, trying to break the toe from Stephen Osh, trying to get everything he can to try and keep that distance between them two. So these two, we're going to stay on board with this, because this is definitely, unless Stocko Saints tries and pulls one up, no, he doesn't. He stays behind.
This could go to and fro for the entire rest of the race, and that's because, again, it's just straights, isn't it? But having said that, Tim looks to have really nailed this restart and is blitzing, really.
He's almost a second, almost, but I believe Stephen Osh now has a bit of fire in him. Now he's going to be looking to try and hunt him down.
I think what you'll find is, as soon as you can break the 1 second mark and break the toe, that's huge. But the toe is so powerful along the 3 straights that we've got, it's going to be difficult to break. But if you can break it, you give yourself a great chance at a win.
Let's have a look. I believe Desi and SND Snow could probably end up going in the lead at some point, because you've still got the 1, 2, 3, all 6 of the top 6 at the moment are still on 11-year-old. 11-year-olds. No, my English is not good. 11 laps old soft tyres, whereas Desi and SND Snow are on the medium, so they're looking a little bit further than the softs.
No, that's fine. We are going to see a mix of strategies here, and only time will tell what the best one is, because it doesn't seem to me like there's a whole bunch of tyre wear out there. And as I mentioned before, it looks like it's going to be a case of whoever can break.
Stephen Osh broke up there a little bit. I mean, he was gaining right there, but obviously, I think the back end kicked out just a little tiny bit, and he gained it.
Easily done, especially if they're running low downforce setups. That's probably one of the trickiest sections on this layout if you're running a very minimal downforce setup. Desi picks up a 3-second penalty.
So that doesn't do him much justice, especially when you've got SND Snow literally right behind him.
Right up it, yeah.
Tell you what, we've got to go on board.
There was an overtake there.
There was.
Tim, who gets past Basil Brush. Basil Brush is going to fight it back, and he's picked up some understeer, and he's understeered right into the wing of Tim there.
I believe Tim was actually the one that was in 5th place, so Basil Brush is actually getting a place back in front of him now.
In fact, yes,
but look at all that. Look at Tim. He's literally just gone right past him. Unfortunately, Basil Brush didn't have DRS, as Mighty FIFA's actually gone off into the distance.
Yes, you see, these lot have broke the first 4 now. Oh, there's been an incident.
Who is that? That's Timo Gertz.
That's Timo. Oh dear. So is that another case of touching the inside curb? We'll have to find out.
We'll have to find out, but we'll stay on board with a little bit of a shake there by Mighty FIFA, but it hasn't really done much damage in terms of this gap to
Stocko
Tim.
is on the attack of Stephen Osh now. They're very close, but this is what we call the DRS train, folks, and they're all running such low downforce, so they can maximise the top end speed. It's going to be a waiting game, a slipstream fest, and what you often see this with oval racing, folks, is that you really want to leave your move until right late, and if you can make a move late on, then you give people no chance.
Right, well, this is going to be absolutely. It's going to be. I still think it's going to be an intense match, because right now you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 still up behind close to each other in terms of gap. So they are looking to try and see who can get on first before they need to pick. Now, 13 laps in, now coming up to 14. Who is going to break first? This is going to be the question now. I believe it could be. I'd say Toon will probably break first. I've got a feeling about it.
You see, if I was Stephen, I'd try and force the matter and pit in. I'd do what Red Bull do best and try and force the hand.
Right. Okay.
But that's because the potential of an undercut, I suppose, is high here. Because if you pick up a slipstream, you're going to be very fast. That Toon hasn't got the advantage of a slipstream at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if he's pushing the limit on his energy, actually.
Does he get another penalty? He's the only one at the moment with a penalty. No, actually, Jan has actually as well. But Desi's picked up his second penalty. We've got an update in terms of what's happened. Apparently, Anish Seth had sort of stitches, so it's obviously a medical problem with him in terms of his knee. So obviously it's spazzed out, and I'm guessing he obviously, in terms of obviously his own well-being, obviously pulled out of the race, which is only fair enough.
Hopefully he's feeling all right.
Well, I mean, you've. I think you've had sort of something like that recently.
I've had my fair share of injuries, which are too lengthy to list here. But I have had my kneecap come through my leg, and if anyone cares to know how that felt, well, I can't tell you because I was absinthe drunk when that happened.
Right, anyway, let's have a look. Lightning 66, another yellow flag. What's going on here? That is, I believe, it is S&D Snow, I think it was, because he was coming out there quite slowly. So he's obviously dropped back. I believe it was him that's obviously come.
Could we check on Toon's usable energy?
We use on his usable energy. He's not really got much left. Wow. Okay. I think Steve Nosh could have a.
Stephen Nosh is playing a long game here. He was happy to sit in the slipstream and save some energy, and knowing that Toon's going to use it to counter.
He's not using it.
He's not. He's playing a long game here. And I think what's happening is he's using the slipstream to make up the speed difference anyway, but he's not going for the overtake. I guess this is treating it like oval racing.
Do you think he's trying to wait till he gets double digits and then attack?
It could be, or he could be waiting for the pit stop. He's playing a long game for sure because he's nearly maximum charged his battery, and he'll know that Toon will have been using it to defend his DRS. So I think he's waiting for Toon to. I mean, if you look at the bars, you couldn't get any different. Oh, Stocko and Marty FIFA have been battling, and I think Marty FIFA
is out.
Is he out?
No, he's still going actually. Sorry, my apologies.
He's been pushed off, so now we're into just.
And now he's only just gone to hold up his teammate Starley, which doesn't do him justice at all.
Exactly, and let's see if anyone's going to jump into the pits here. No, they're going around again. Toon aggressively trying to break the toe. I think Stephen's playing a long game here. He really is. And Stocko's dropped a whole bunch of time down that straight.
I think he may have got in. Obviously, he came in touch with Marty FIFA, I believe. So that may have been obviously them came on contact.
This could quickly become a two-horse race then, unless there's another safety car, which you wouldn't put it past. But this is very much narrowed down the front-running group here. Stocko will be pushing hard to get back on, but I'm telling you, Stephen Oss is playing a game here.
It's a game. I believe it may be a game of cat and mouse. Who is going to give him first?
I'd be looking to pit now and using that energy to put in a steamy lap.
I wouldn't surprise me if Toon goes in. That's it. That ERS is going to be absolutely abused.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, you could look at it and say, well, there's an overtake here, and Stephen Oss is just playing this like highly intelligent.
I mean, we can only imagine. Apparently, there was no contact between Marty FIFA and Stocko Saints. Marty apparently just lost control of the vehicle,
touching the right-hand curb in there with your unloaded tyre, breaking the traction basically, and spins you around. I'm not sure if that's how that works in real life at this track, but on this game, that is one of the deadly curbs.
Stocko Saints is actually pulling out quite a bit of a gap now between Tim 1404 and the rest of the pack.
Indeed. But he's also losing time to the front two, so he's in a bit of no man's land at the moment.
And he's going to get a lot of the dirty air as well, considering.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he's not going to get much either.
And he's getting no toe as well, so he's going to be constantly losing out on the straights. But look, if the race finishes now, he's got a podium. He'll be disappointed.
Right.
But
Who's going to give him first? No one's giving him first. It's still literally coming up to lap 20 now.
I'm surprised Stocko hasn't dived in after losing that time as well.
We've got a couple coming in, actually. Who's coming in now, I believe? You've got Other Floyd coming in now. You've got Lightning 66 as well, and I believe that is it so far in terms of who's coming into the pit.
Well, clearly the tyre wear isn't particularly bad. They don't look like they're struggling.
No, they don't seem to be struggling at all. But unfortunately, someone's got to give away that first or second place. So the question is who's going to go first?
This is cat and mouse, Tom and Jerry stuff right here.
Tom and Jerry, for anyone who doesn't understand who Tom and Jerry is, he's a British cartoon.
They just released a movie in it with American actors, so hopefully people understand that now.
No, well, anyway, it's a tale between a cat and a mouse, and they hate each other, and the cat always wants to try and get the mouse done busted. Anyway, still. This is turning to be a very interesting battle right here.
On the straight, by the way. Look at the time, just drop it down the slipstream. This is exactly.
Stocko Saints is gauged in first. He's going into the pits now.
That's a sensible decision. He's going to come out in quite a bit of air as well. He's going to come out all the way
towards 15th, I believe.
Just near. Yeah, behind Dave Johnson. So he's going to have some clean air. If he pumps in a couple of laps, he's clearly going to be faster than on the fresh tyres than 20-lap-old softs.
Look at that ERS barrier bar with Stephen Osh. It's triple digits.
Yeah. He's playing a game. He's playing a game, guys, and it's because he doesn't. I think this is very much being treated like over racing, where being in the lead is actually like not an advantage.
No,
you're
definitely.
slipstreaming everyone,
especially on a track like this.
Exactly. This is just a low downforce, fast track, and again they're going for another.
They're going for another one. ERS is being deployed, and he's got DRS as well. Couldn't place the car in the middle, but I think he's just. That is really well done, but I think Turner's going to get it. He's going to hold on to it. No, he's not.
Has he made contact?
No, I don't think he made contact. There's no damage on Turn's wing, so I think they'll be fine. But Turn is literally right up behind Stephen Osh. Stephen Osh has also got DRS as well, so we are going to stay on board with this. But unfortunately,
look at the ERS.
Look at the ERS. It doesn't exist, unfortunately. So unfortunately, it's going to be on sole willpower now. That Turn is going to have to try and get past Stephen Osh with DRS. But now the question is, who's going to cave in still? Is it Turn or is it going to be Stephen Osh? This is the question now. He's slightly pulling off because he's going to be using that ERS, which he is, yes.
I'm pitting here. I'm forcing the matter.
He's coming in. He's exactly what he does. He comes in.
Let's have a look and see where Stocko is, because he could jump in here if he's had some good laps.
He's currently in 13th place. Coming up to the last corner now.
Yellow is the worst thing here.
Yellow
right now
is that's
his
his
safety car.
That will be, I believe.
This is going to be close on pit exit. I think Stocko might have jumped Turn here. He has. He's jumped Turn.
He's jumped Turn.
Easy. It's easy. He's jumped Turn.
So now he's going to be trying to hunt down Stephen Osh, who is.
Well, Steve, surely he'll have jumped Stephen Osh as well.
No, Stephen Osh is still first.
No, but surely when Stephen Osh pits in, if there was only 5 tenths between them, and look how far ahead he is of Turn, nearly 6 seconds, then surely he's jumped him.
This could be interesting.
He's jumped him. I'm telling you, he's jumped him. Stephen Osh is going to pit this lap, and Stocko Saints is going to
have a look. Is Stephen Osh going to pit?
Yeah,
no, he's not.
Right, well, is he praying for a safety car or something?
I think he might be.
He might be coming in this lap, according to that anyway. But
you got Tim 154 now coming in, but you also got McValis still. He's may have pulled a blinder here. You never know.
No, he does have track position, but
track position does not matter on this.
I think
you have got SS in the Williams zone.
I think Stocko's pulled an absolute blinder there to jump Turn.
He's gone up into 9th place at the moment.
People pitting.
He's still got people pitting right now. He's going to be on the better time now. He's up behind SS Daniel in the Ferrari.
As well.
You generally think?
I think so. I mean, Stephen Ox wasn't 6 seconds in front of Turton, was he?
No, he wasn't.
He was only 5/10. So, mathematically speaking, yeah, he's jumped him.
Well, let's have a look. Stephen Osh is going to come in. He's the only one left on the soft. He's still not coming in. 25 laps on. It was literally almost coming towards halfway.
Well, maybe he knows something. I think he's just playing the strong tyres at the end game here. But every lap he does, it makes it more likely that Stocko jumps him because the tyre advantage is well and truly in his hand. He's just got to try and avoid contact, overtaking people. He hasn't got a lot of usable energy left. This should be an easy overtake now as he has a tyre advantage and DRS and shoots quite easily past the Ferrari of TSSM Daniel.
Right.
Got a jump in front of him on 22-lap-old medium, so again, should be another cut and dry overtake.
And remember, John has actually been promoted from T2 up to T1 as a reserve driver. So we could, he will probably be in the praying now for, to obviously to stay in that position, but I don't think it's going to stay there.
Other than like if he pits now, it would be second last in the net at the moment.
Stocko Saints, Stephen Osh is coming in this lap right now. He's going to stay on board with Stocko as he's coming up to the end of the double right-hander, so he's going to be on the towards the end of this lap. Stephen Osh is now got the tyres fitted now, so where is he going to come out?
I'm certain he's jumped him.
So...
No, I don't know actually. This is going to be close.
This could be very close, but I think Stocko Saints has got him!
Stocko jumped him.
Stocko Saints has got him. He is theoretically in the lead of this race.
Net lead. That was closer than I thought it was going to be, but Stocko Saints obviously being held up by having to overtake some people. Oh dear. Timo again, just he had a kick there, and he nearly lost it, and almost came back onto the track and took out the net leader. And well, it is what I said. I said, well, he's dropped away from the pack now. We should probably jump in, and he has, and he's undercut 2 people.
It just depends now, not actually on who's going to be worse off, because obviously both of these guys have got traffic in front of them, especially. You've got Stephen Osh behind Timo Gertz. So,
he's got a big
lock up there
advantage.
as well. He's got a big tyre advantage as well as the DRS and that ERS as well. So this could be an easy train right here. Cut and dry run. There we go. Done and dusted. That is Stephen Osh up now up to 7 behind Stocko Saints. Stocko Saints coming up behind AYB Jan for the racing point for my teammates. He's coming up. Oh, this is going to be close. I think
he made that corner wide on purpose to try and maximise his exit, but John just placed the car well and stopped the cutback there. He's going for it.
He's going for it, and a very unlikely position. He takes that corner very nicely. Now you've got Stephen Osh now still behind. Now he is literally trying to make sort of like a
barrier,
pretty much a barrier in front of him, but. Let's see how this is going to hold up to him. A yellow flag in section 2. That is the Williams. I believe that might be the Williams of other Floyd. I believe it is. So this is going to be cut and dry once again.
Something we haven't really commented on is McVayler.
Yeah, I mean.
An interesting. Also another yellow, and now that's the Haas.
That is a Haas, I believe. That is back racing at the moment, so it's got nothing to do with it. The only thing with McVeigh is obviously he hasn't got much more of a time. He hasn't really got the time advantage, unfortunately, over Scottish States.
Stephen Oss, who's right behind now, only 2/10.
DRS is now and using ERS.
That's easy because
easy overtaking.
Stephen Oss charged up his battery 100% behind Tim, who's stuck behind his teammate at the not stuck, but will soon be coming up behind Timo Gertz there. So, well, we're back with the big loser out of all of that is Tim.
Definitely. At the moment, he's going to be still waving himself in and out. Remember, we've still got penalties to obviously take. As we've got 1966 is more likely going to be be lapped here, unfortunately. So you've still got SS. He's got SS now in front now.
In front, he's made the overtake.
He's made the overtake, but he has a tyre advantage over McVayler. But
wait, these guys all pitted early, right?
These guys pitted early.
So no, that wasn't the net lead of the race. These guys have the net lead of the race. They've made their pit stop.
They did.
That went under the radar.
That did go under the radar.
2560 making an early pit stop has undercut half the field.
Wow. I mean,
this is such a strange race.
This is a very strange race. I mean, we don't tend to see races like this on a normal Formula One calendar. So anything is unknown to us on this race.
It really does feel like an IndyCar race and not an F1 race. Just there's so many different strategies going on, because I think these guys will look at pitting again, or if they don't, they're going to struggle right at the end of the race. But now McVayler can do what Stephen Oshkers did: look at charging batteries and just let the slipstream drag him.
Which he's doing. Yellow flag is a safety car.
This could change. This now really can change the field.
Stephen Osh and Stocko Saint, and I believe
who caused it?
I'm not entirely sure, but
who is it? This is really.
It is Lightning 66. He is out. He's
right. Okay. Well, who's?
Oh no! A bit of a double stacking, which not what we needed. Because remember now the AI for the pit crew need to
reset. Yeah.
There you go. Off they go.
So who does this play an advantage to? I think Stephen Oshkers now going to be back into the lead if these guys pit.
Yes, with Stocko Saints behind him. We've also got Marty FIFA now. Remember, because Timo Gertz has actually still got a pit because he's 29 laps in.
So
so Marty FIFA could end up pretty much back on the podium places as of now.
And Abe Jones with speeding under safety car. Oh dear.
That is not what he wants. I'm pretty sure he's got quite a few penalties already. He's got a drive-through penalty now. His race has gone from bad to worse.
So loads of people are pitting. Stephen Oshkers going to stay out. So he goes all the way to the top.
And
McVayler is coming out in third place. Has really benefited, or is he?
I think you got Marty FIFA coming up behind him right now. Is Marty FIFA going to do it?
They can race to the safety car line, but they're waiting.
No, that's it. Yes. Oh, SS got his nose in there as well. They can race
to the white line at the end of the pit lane of the safety car. That's the safety car line.
Yeah.
Right, definitely. So McVayler has now got a huge tyre advantage for this restart. Well, not huge, but they're fresh.
There is a glimmer of hope. There is a glimmer.
SS2560 there. Basabi on fresh tyres as well. I mean, give him a sniff of the podium and you know what's going to happen, right?
Well, it's anyone's game, let's face it.
And that's something I've not said.
You haven't? I'm actually quite surprised you haven't.
Yeah, well, you know, it's been 2 weeks, I'm rusty. Let's see what happens on that. Hopefully there's a bit more warning for the restart this time and not you're round the final corner and everyone just decides.
Apparently Lightning 66 lost it on the last corner. So unless he... So on this bit right here, so obviously when we're coming up to what we are now, so unless he went a little bit further and then his back end kicked out, went onto the dirty part of the track, I can only think what may have happened.
Yeah, he did an Alex Albon basically.
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah.
But I will say this though, S&D Snow in the Alfa Romeo.
Yep.
On the softs.
Interesting.
And so is Timo Gertz. But the thing is, obviously, they went...
yeah, that's SS there.
Penalties for SS, but I've got a feeling that McVayler may get one. No, he doesn't. McVayler usually hasn't got one. Because usually, if the two collide in during safety car, both cars are to blame. But obviously, that's the computer obviously thinking that something obviously went wrong.
Yeah, the computer cop.
I think Bren Boy's overtaken because obviously he's unlapped himself.
Or not, he's just...
Bren Boy's actually ignored yellow flags.
What?
I've got a feeling Bren Boy may have been pulled a dirty here. I think that he was told to overtake the safety car,
right,
and then it's just gone back to say, no, you need to go, we need to give that decision back.
that's unlucky. Right, safety car is in this lap. It's pulling away.
It's pulling away this time, so I believe Stephen Osh would
trying
not
to-
actually. But look at McVayner creeping. He's trying to see if he can get in front of Stocko Saints. Look, trying to get on that
The
inside.
problem is, no matter how well you prepare this, you've still got a massively long straight.
Ooh, he's even pushed Stocko Saints onto the track there a little bit.
You've got to be careful there, Stephen.
Careful.
You can't just keep stopping and going.
He's taking this to the line. He's taking this to the line. Oh, no, he's calling him napping.
That's clever.
That is very clever.
That's
yellow flag. What's happened here? I'm not entirely sure, but McVayner is going for
just
it.
about outbrake himself, but it gives him the inside line into the next turn.
Oh,
that's
Stocko Saints defended that very well. Gave him enough room, but argument may have pushed him off track, but I think McVayner actually did end up staying in the limit on the track. So I don't think anything wrong with that. Stephen Osh has now gone way off there.
So that battle's not actually helped matters, as SND Snow had a brilliant restart, just shot all the way up to 4th.
He's on the soft though. Look at that.
Bit of tactics going on here, a bit of tic-tacs, but let's have a look and see what McVayner can do. Ideally, would want to try and get past Stocko and use this fresh tyre to get on the back of Stephen Osh.
He's in the slipstream, so he's not going to get DRS, but he's going to be using the ERS right now. That is the energy system. It is.
I could go in depth if anyone's interested on how these power units work, but it's a late move. It's a lock-up.
Lock-up there as well.
This is like the Battle of Bahrain between Hamilton and that. He's going to lose this place to
S&D Snow as well, and the softs.
The softs yielding a huge advantage. How have they not taken each other out here?
It is pretty much almost 3 abreast at this point. Look at this. Going into the corner.
S&D Snow's going to have a huge tyre advantage, and he's hanging it around the outside.
He's around the outside, still needs to go side by side. This is what racing this is. Oh wow, but unfortunately Stocko Saints has to give it up. But is he? You know he's going to fight back as S&D Snow goes a bit wide there. So this is absolutely quality racing right here. Absolutely amazing.
How they did make contact throughout. If they did, it wasn't severe. But now DRS has opened this lap right.
This lap right now. So he's obviously not going to get on this straight right here. It will be on to the next one as we go into sector 2, I believe. Wow, but look at that. Stocko Saints coming in side by side. Once again, first corner. The soft tyre has more grip.
Which is where the soft tyre really does cling to that corner. And now McVayner right on the back of Stocko Saints. He's had a terrible accident. I think McVayner's going to pick him off here, and I think he has.
It is literally wheel by wheel. Oh my God, baby! Stocko Saints might think we're the fastest lap so far, but we'll actually be shunned by this sheer. Oh my God, look at McVayner! Oh, it's a sprint back by Stocko Saints, taking her back into 3rd place once again. McVayner unfortunately made a good time on the inside, but unfortunately locks up, goes a bit wider, and then Stocko Saints comes back in.
Absolutely insane, and it's going to continue. McVayner needs to get past.
He's got literally McVayner once again go past Stocko Saints. Oh, this is an absolute quality. SS now coming into the fray. Look at that. No, he's going to wait a little bit longer. And McVayner once again with the lockup.
S&D Snow's now hunting down Stephen Osh as well, because he's got a huge tyre advantage.
Huge tyre advantage, but remember the medium goes on a little longer than the soft, so that's the only problem.
Really great strategy so far, but we'll see. Maybe he's probably playing another safety car here.
Probably playing another safety, you never know.
Now we can just take a chance to breathe after
I do.
a frantic couple of laps. I mean,
God, you got 2 coming into the fray now behind SS. I'm sorry, I'm going to need some oxygen after this. Seriously, this is ridiculous.
They're all driving mental, but clean, which is insane.
I mean, this is wow. This is some absolutely quality racing.
Basabi's got a couple of people in the YouTube chat cheering for him.
He has, of course.
Shout out lots of those. We do love Wasabi here. Is SS going to try and move on Stocko? No.
No, it's going to have to wait a little bit longer. McVayler once again still.
SND Snow closing the gap by another 3 attempts.
He's got DRS range now, but he's not got much ERS. Whether Stephen Osh has, he's going to be using that to his advantage to try and defend from the DRS threat behind him.
Playing smart.
Playing very smart. But I can only think that it's only a matter of time now, because obviously the softs are the one here. Desi in the Haas F1 pulling the fastest lap as of yet.
Through that corner, it's compromising him now all the way down straight.
I mean, Stephen is just trying to break the toe as much as he possibly can. Let's have a look. I mean, DRS is now open. Stephen Osh is going to be using the ERS. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does actually.
The slipstream effect is just so powerful down the straight. And McVayler obviously passed Stocko, but not really imposing himself on SND Snow here. You'd want him to with 10 lap fresher tyres. Oh, we've got yellows in
there's a yellow. It's I believe TSS and Daniel in the Ferrari.
This could be
it is SND Snow going on towards the end of section 2. He's done it, but does he keep it? He makes it stick. He's well in the lead now.
What he needs to do now is really get his head down, break toe, and pray for a safety car.
That's all we can ask for, really, to be honest now. Let's have a look. I mean, there's a massive train. Look at it.
That's it.
There's at least 4 or 5 places there. I mean, look at Basil Brush in 7th place.
He's doing it for the memes.
He's doing it for the memes. We love it.
This is turning into, well, Stephen Osh really played it intelligent.
S&D Snow way on the other side of the track right there, trying to break the toe as we're coming up to the first corner.
It's just like he did earlier in the race. He's sitting behind. He's got a huge gap behind. On this track, 2 seconds is in a lifetime because there's not many places to make that 2 seconds up. He could just sit in the slipstream. As long as he doesn't break DRS, it's going to be fine.
He's not using DRS. He is using DRS, sorry, but he is not using the ERS.
I think he's going to do exactly what he did earlier. He'll just sit in the slipstream, have a car on faster tyres, pull him along, and save his ERS.
Stocko Saints could actually have McVayler here, to be honest. Even though McVayler does have the tyre advantage, unfortunately he is within DRS range as of now. And obviously Stocko Saints with the slipstream as well.
Stocko's energy is really low.
It really is, but luckily he has the DRS to help him out and the slipstream. So we'll see, what can he do now? He's obviously 7 attempts, gone down to 6 attempts. Not close enough. He's going to need to pull out some quality driving here, unfortunately. Wasabi gone up to 7th place now, just before the braking zone. Now, he's trying to claim back some places.
Let's see what Wasabi can do, and just let's see if he can catch up to this train here and really impose himself on this race, because he's well, I'm not used to seeing him in 7th.
No, I'm not either, but let's face it. But the thing is, as much as I would love to see it, S&D Snow, I don't think he's going to be the winner here. Solely because he's on the softs.
Unfortunately, broke DRS.
He's nearly broke DRS, but unfortunately the softs are not going to last as long as the mediums. And also, if you want to look right next to it, he's got a penalty.
Yeah, exactly. No, this is true. Look, at the end of the day, he's still led a few laps. Come from nowhere. There's a yellow exec throw in the last corner. It's a Red Bull.
It's a Red Bull. It is Basil Brush.
Ooh,
he's kept it going though.
That's interesting to see how you lose it out of the last corner.
It is quite interesting to see how it happens.
Maybe just getting too hungry on the loud pedal and picking up some oversteer. They will be using, again, low downforce setups to maximise the straight line speed. So it must be pretty difficult controlling the power.
We're going to go back on board with Stephen Osh and S&D Snow. This is the battle that we want to see at the moment. Although you have SS coming up behind Stocko Saint, but obviously it's a battle of willpower now in terms of on what tyre is going to be probably more better. I mean, yes, S&D Snow has the tyre advantage. Yes, he has more grip, but unfortunately, like we said earlier, the softs don't do it justice
No.
for a race. It really doesn't.
They used to be, before in soft, they used to be called quali tyre for a reason.
Yeah.
Then these were the primes, and then the options were the hard. The medium tyre is the best race tyre.
You got SS and Stocko Saints literally just almost having a way with each other right there.
We nearly had a real life Russell and Bottas.
Yes, we did. We could have done.
Oh, Toon then late on the brakes, nearly collecting SS 2560 there.
Let's have a look. Oh, Stephen, he did think about it.
But I wouldn't worry too much if I'm him. I'd just let this guy drag me along and save my ERS, and the gap is going up from McVayler constantly. So it's entirely up to him. I'm not going to tell him how to do the race, but you can save your energy like you did earlier in the race and just let a guy on faster tyres keep dragging you along and saving your fuel as well.
Well, considering that the soft tyres are usually the fastest tyre, but the thing is, the mediums at the moment are still literally, if you look, there's not really much difference in it, unfortunately, in terms of what's what. I believe this is Stephen Osh's, this is his race, to be honest, to lose.
Yeah, I would agree there. He's still in a very good position, and SMD Snow basically pulled off I'm not going to call it a glory run because he still made the move stick, and I think he moved all the way up from 6th. But and there was some brilliant racing in there, but he's got the penalty, and the softs aren't going to take him. I don't know. There's only 13 more laps. Wow, that went quick. There's only 14, including this one. That went really quick.
I think it's just a short. The thing is, we think Bahrain, we think a 120.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, but at the end of the day, I would say that this could be quite a quick race. Let's face it.
Yeah. Oh, more yellows.
Yellows in sector 3. It is TSM Daniel. Unfortunately, he is retired from the race. He's gone into the pits. Stephen Osh has now overtaken SMD Snow.
Safety car.
No, I don't think he knows where the safety is.
SND Snow tried to hang it around the outside, but Stephen Oscar, didn't give him a choice in the matter, right?
The car of TSM Daniel has come back onto the track. What's happened here?
Can we ride on board with him, see what the problem is?
He's retired from the race. He's DNF'd. So for some reason, his car went into the pit and now he's come back out again.
Well, I'm hoping that's some kind of glitch.
That is a weird one right there. We're going to probably have to find out a bit more about that. But
unless he retired in the pit. So what I think's happened is he's retired in the pit and the computer's
obviously not recognised it.
Yeah, taken over and put him back. But he's disappeared now, so all is well. And SMD Snow now is in second place, having lost the lead. And now we'll look to sit in behind Stephen Osh for a few laps. And Stephen Osh very wide through that first turn, actually.
I think he's probably just trying to defend as much as he possibly can. Oh, S&D Snow right up behind Stephen Osh now, as he's going to be using the DRS right now. But is he going to use the DRS? No, he's going to be doing it clearly on mechanical power.
McVayler has shaved half a second off, as I say that. It's gone up to 6/10. I'm so surprised that McVayler, Stocko, by the way, is now onto the soft tyres until the end of the race. So he's making a gamble of a pit stop. I think these guys are going to the end.
You think?
I think S&D Snow's going to the end, yeah.
But unfortunately, remember, he's got that penalty. What is that penalty? I remember 8 seconds. I mean, that puts him pretty much down all the way to 7.
Yeah.
But you've also got Timo, who's also got 8, so he could probably end up going down to, yeah.
Oh, S&D Snow's gone for the
Snow,
overtake again. And he's made this one stick.
He has made it stick.
He might have the penalty, but also he maybe just wants the satisfaction of crossing the line first.
He wants to take the flag.
He does. Well, if I'm Stephen Osh, then I'll just say, you know what, have it your way. As long as that gap to McVayler doesn't come down dramatically, we'll see what happens for the rest of this race. But this is the battle, theoretically, to take the flag. Stocko with an interesting strategy now going back onto the soft tyres, and I think really That's a gamble. I'm not sure it's going to pay off, but we'll see.
Desi with another penalty. At the moment, the most penalties at the moment is Desi with 9. I mean, it's not the most we've seen. I mean, I think it was about a couple of weeks ago when you and me last did commentary. It was 21.
Yeah, well, one more after that, and you're given the virtual black flag, and you're told to go and take a shower and see you later. Couple of people famously having the black flag. Michael Schumacher in the Benetton, and the race, I believe it was the 1994 British Grand Prix, which was won by Damon Hill. On the formation lap, Michael Schumacher just decided to show him his speed off the line and overtook him on the formation lap, and the FIA disqualified him, told him to come in, but he just continued the entire race. He's like, are you actually going to come onto the track and stop me? So he just kept racing. That's so Michael Schumacher.
It is intriguing. I mean, obviously, have we actually heard from what happened with Michael at the moment? Because obviously we still haven't really heard much apart from that. Obviously, last time we heard mine was a veteran.
As far as I know, he's awake and he's not in a coma, but it's a case of the ability. That gap really has come down now. McVeigh's right on the back of Stephen Oshkin. Now we better look at making the move.
Right. Well, in that case, McVeigh is more than this is probably alarmed Stephen Osh. That's why Stephen Osh is actually trying to overtake S&D. He's probably seen what McVeigh is literally right behind him, gaining. That has came down very quickly.
He does have 5 lap younger tyres. It's not out of the realms of possibility that he could make the overtake. What I will say is McVeigh didn't have a lot of usable energy.
No, McVeigh did not have a lot of usable
energy. He used it all to catch up and to give himself a chance of getting into the DRS, which it's done. But Stephen Osh now, I think, will be making this move.
We can only wait and see. Timo Gertz in the McLaren at the moment. He's on softs at the moment. He's still got penalty to take. He's currently sat behind Wasabi in 5th. S&D Snow once again denying the opportunity for Stephen Osh to actually try and overtake on the pitch straight. S&D Snow is doing really well.
He's doing well to stay in front and showing his speeds. And those tyres will be feeling a little worse wear especially out of corners 1, 2 and 3, where traction, that's probably the only proper traction zone on this track, because it's the only time you're going into a gear lower than 4th. So he's doing really well, and he's getting good launches from the last corner to keep himself in front. I wouldn't be panicking too much if I'm Stephen Oshkier. I think he's still got a lot of ERS, but McVeigh is
once again
feisty from lap 1.
Once again, he's right up behind him now. He's going to be using the ERS. I believe he's just probably gone up to mix 3. He's also got that. But I mean, S&D Snow breaking a toe once again.
Yeah.
Really well done.
Oh my word, that was
late on the brakes.
It's not an easy corner, and he's clearly running a very low downforce setup, which is making that lockup happen quite regularly as TSS and Daniel leaves
the session after retiring.
He was probably sticking on board for a little while, and then decided, you know what, no, I'm not going to race anymore. I'll go and make myself some tea.
That's if Daniel actually drinks tea, but we don't know.
Yeah. Well,
then again, I'm not a tea drinker, you know that.
Tea is a glorious substance.
But in fact, we won over a war against it.
Yeah, exactly.
We did.
Yeah, the first opium war. Google that, everyone. But coffee is also life fuel. But that's by the by right now. We should actually be talking about it.
Ooh,
because
Vela has got ERS now.
Oh, wow, this is going to be aggressive. Oh, Stephen Osh,
I believe. Oh, wow, this could be free abreast here. S&D Snow, remember S&D Snow has the grip.
What a tight line.
Oh, wow, Stephen Osh. Wow, that's absolutely incredible.
Taylor needs to get a move on now to get back wiser. Well, we've seen what Stephen Osh can do, so he needs to get a move on and make this move.
Valen does need to get it done and dusted. Unfortunately, S&D obviously with more grip, bit of wavy there from McVeighler. Next person behind him is Tun, but he's about 2 seconds behind. So it's pretty much these three as we're coming up to literally the last almost 5 laps of this race. I've properly enjoyed this race so far.
This has been good fun, and it's certainly been exactly what I thought it would be. As McVayla dies.
Oh no! I will say that though, that's picked up a penalty, so that puts Tun now in a podium place.
Exactly. Well, he was in there anyway because of SND Snow's 8-second penalty, but now it's put him on a higher podium place, and he'll have maybe seen that pop up on the screen. And well, I mean, he's can't take it easy because now Basabi actually comes into play at getting a podium.
He does as well, actually. That's actually a very good point. He could get one, but I believe he's on only a lap younger tyre.
Yeah.
But we've known Basabi. He's a man who literally, if he wants something, will go for it.
He fights. He's always finds himself there or thereabouts by the end of the race. He's so consistent. McVayla, I think, needs to make this move work now, this lap-wise. But he's now not only got to overtake Stephen Osh, but he's also got to find 3 seconds on this track.
I don't think that's going to happen.
To SND Snow, despite the 8-second penalty, fair play.
I mean, he's raced a good race.
Exactly. He's kept those tyres can't be easy to operate through here, and he's done a really, really great job.
Tim 144
gets himself a penalty. So let's see how the rest of this goes now. Basabi's dropped out of DRS, so we'll see. Potentially the podium will be, if it ended now with Basabi where he is now, it would be Stephen Osh, Tun and Basabi. But if Basabi drops below a second again, then McVayla will keep a podium place in 3rd.
But remember, Basabi is a man on a mission. He wants that podium place. So we will stick on board with the top 3 at the moment. We haven't really got much of a big race apart from McVayla and SMD Snow, as SMD Snow is now going to be under a bit of cosh now from McVayla. Both have DRS, but obviously I believe SMD Snow has more of DRS, as if you look, McVayla doesn't have any. Right behind SMD Snow as like on the break going into turn 1.
Yeah, SMD Snow's taken a few laps just to charge up, and it is easier to charge up with the slipstream because you don't need the ERS to keep up with the car ahead. So you could just feel SMD Snow making that corner a very wide bit of track there. But again, SMD Snow, despite the penalty, really fantastic on the restart to jump up all the way from 6th. Well, not all the way, but he had to make the moves to go from 6th to 1st, and he's made that stick now, and there's not too many laps left. And McVayla will really need to...
Oh, I think they may have touched slightly, but not too much. But McVayla has a better exit. Let's have a look going down onto the pit straight now. It's 2 abreast at the moment coming towards the braking zone. I think SMD Snow might have it. There has a slipstream, but what dive down there, McVayla? It's into Stephen Osh! Stephen Osh has been hit behind!
No!
SMD Snow's now been given multiple warnings. There's a yellow flag.
SMD Snow spun.
SMD Snow has spun.
McVayla's let Stephen Osh pass as well.
Tun now is in possession for getting 6th place. Basabi's now, so yeah, I'm sorry, 3rd place now. Basabi could be in there as well. Timo Kurtz and Stocko Saints. Stocko Saints, unfortunately, not going to.
Not worked out for him.
Not worked out for him, but I think he still could get some points on the board.
Big points.
Big points, actually. He's got 11. He's got 2 11s there. He could end up getting 5th.
McVayla, we've seen that he's been late on the brakes into turn 1 all race, and he outbraked himself, and Stephen Osh almost got turned round. That could have been an absolute disaster, and he'll be fuming still. But McVayla did the right thing and pulled and let him pass. That's the correct thing.
Oh wow! I didn't expect. That was very close. You've got McVayla still behind Stephen Osh at the moment. Remember, obviously, Stephen Osh will win this race, as it stands, as we
he
are.
almost had it taken though. If that car goes all the way around,
His back end kicked out.
It did. He was lucky there because that's not down to any skill. That's just seeing how the car lands basically, and it landed well for him. It wasn't a big shunt, but there was a definite touch there, and it almost ended in disaster with 2 laps left and handed Tun a victory.
I think S&D may have some damage because unfortunately he's very slow.
Well, he did as good as he could for the to get to where he always had that penalty. But we are on to the last lap, and it looks like
Wasabi's going to overtake
for it.
Tun has dropped down possibly from a potential second to a potential third now. Wasabi
making the move on the last lap.
McVeigh's not going in front.
McVeigh's in front, but he's got to find 3 seconds.
He's got to find 3 seconds, but Wasabi, he's too far back. Unless McVeigh really spoils the party now for Stephen Osh, I can't see much happening now.
It's taken an incredible bit of luck here, but there is still this curb where things could go wrong if you hit it. And no, Stephen Osh keeping it clean. He's saying you can have the flag. I've still got the win here. McVeigh with that.
Unless, remember, we've seen it all happen already. Remember the last corner.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
He sticks it. He's got that. But Wasabi, well done to him. He's got second. But Stephen Osh, he doesn't take the second flag, but he wins the Bahrain Grand Prix short. Absolutely brilliant that.
We've got
yellow in sector 3 already. But that clearly does not matter. Wasabi into second. That he must be happy with literally the fight back he's done. Turn it in third with McVeigh in 4th. That is brilliant by McVeigh with SS, Timo Gert and Stocko Saints getting 7th. Unfortunately, not great points for him, unfortunately.
Dropping down from pole position. He will be disappointed he didn't get the best of starts. He did a brilliant strategy with the undercut, but it's not worked out. And, that was a bit of a cracker.
That was something to take on board. I tell you, we will be looking back through these highlights, I guarantee it. But wow, absolute wow. Brilliantly done there by, I think Desi's literally just taking it slowly as he possibly can, just to have a little bit of a laugh. But fair play to him. But no, Stephen Osh takes the points home, and Wasabi, I mean, look at that. Timo Gert's driver of the day, but Matt, in your personal opinion, who would be your driver of the day? I think
McVeigh had a brilliant start and got themselves into a really good position. Could have won the race if it wasn't for one mistake. But I will say, and I know it's a boring choice because he finished first, but Stephen Osh for me is driver of the day because it wasn't actually easy for him and to lead that many laps, and he had all sorts of stuff thrown at him, and he's kept his head. He was dealt a bad hand with a safety car restart that was a bit dodgy.
It was dodgy.
So, look, driver of the day for me, it isn't down to whoever makes the most overtakes. It's whoever looks comfortable, who looks like, like they're performing the best they can. And that was a fantastic performance from Stephen Osh.
Well, there it is. It is Stephen Osh, Wasabi, Tun, McVeigh, and SS for 2560. Wow, that was an absolute epic race. We're going to try and see if we can get some interviews now, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I can only imagine what Stephen Osh is probably thinking. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if his rear was clenched when someone hit him on the second to last.
That was definitely a close one.
It was a close one.
Just again, McVeigh's start from 6th up to 2nd, by the way. Started on the grid 6th after the first corner, he's into 2nd. So not bad.
But Wasabi as well, 5th as well, to go into 2nd as well.
I'm going to leave you to do the interviews.
Are you?
Dude? Yeah?
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Obviously, are you, going for a photo shoot now? Or
no,
are you going to sign some autographs with the fans?
I need a wee.
All right.
Nothing that classic.
Nature has called, unfortunately, with my dear friend. Matt, thank you very much for joining us, mate, and we'll see you next time, mate. Bye, everybody. We'll be trying to see if we can get some interviews, guys, as we wait for probably our top 3 and probably a few more. We never know. We might be able to see on who can actually come in with us. We're going to see if we can get some interviews. At the moment, obviously, we're going to start with. I believe we do have a couple of people. We're going to start with obviously our race winner, Stephen Osh, mate. Congratulations, mate, on the win there, mate. I can only imagine how you're feeling, mate. Obviously, I mean, that was not an easy race. I must face it. To the fact that you were coming in and out of position, first, second, third, all the time, and obviously the safety car did not help you when it came to the restart, because obviously it was a bit late. So, I mean, how are you feeling for that race entirely? Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I think Stephen Osh may be having some technical difficulties. Not entirely sure. Stephen Osh, are you with us? No, I think we'll come.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Stephen Osh. Hello. There. Sorry. So yeah. I mean, how did you feel about the race? I mean, it wasn't easy.
No. At start I had a good getaway. Got into the lead. Then pulled a 1 second gap, but unfortunately the safety car came out. And then, like you said, the restart was very late, so my tires were very cold because I didn't expect of that the safety car came in that lap. And then I think I stayed behind 2 for the first couple of laps. Some people pitted for hards, and then after the late safety car, I got back into first place. And then I knew snow was going to be fast in the beginning because he was in softs, so I let him through. Stayed in his DRS. Then McPhail came to my DRS, and then I overtook Snow again. And in general, it was a good race for me.
Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine. I mean, I think it was either second to last or third to last lap. You got rear-ended by McVayler. I mean, the fact is, you kept that car so under control. To the fact that your back end kicked out, and to face it, me and Matt were actually saying the fact that if your car did a full-on pirouette, and let's face it, that would have been your way to win gone.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I got lucky there. Snow, I think, did spin. It wasn't a big hit or something. It was just a little tap, I think. Don't know for sure, but then he let me through again, and in the end, I got lucky there. But he said sorry, so he just broke a bit too late, so Snow couldn't get past him. And it's just an incident. But luckily, I didn't spin.
Well, I can say, that was an incredible race. I mean, can only imagine how it much means to you. Obviously, once again, staying on top of the leaderboard. But congratulations, Stephen, and we'll look forward to seeing you in Hungary, mate.
Yeah, thank you. See you next week.
Thank you. Next up, I believe we will go to Desi. I believe was next. Desi, welcome to the interview, mate. It didn't go your way, mate, did it? Let's face it. I mean, you picked up so many penalties along the way, and you finished up, well, not plumb last, but you finished 13th on the grid. I mean, not points, but would you see it? But could there have been any? Could there be any more sort of performance out of that?
Yeah, I was so slow, so I probably didn't deserve any points. But the second safety car, I got held up by a Williams. He did reset to the track. Right.
Okay. So you reset it to the track, did it? Right. Okay. That'll probably be something to the FIA to look in. But okay. I heard there was a bit of tanglement between you and your teammate again. You two seem to be battling out constantly since obviously the start of this league. I mean, is there bad blood? Maybe, I don't know.
Was there a battle today between us?
Well, no. I mean, is there bad blood? As in, is there a disagreement between you two?
No, not really. We we have a good connection. And well, today it wasn't successful, so that's bad. But
Well, obviously, Hungary is coming up next. I mean, it's more of a track for position. So, I mean, Hungary. I mean, how do you feel like going around Hungary in a competition race? Of course.
well, the calendar this year is not my calendar.
All right.
So Hungary, for me, I'm gonna practice a lot, but it's not a good track.
It's not a good track. Well, I'm sure that I'm sure that obviously, well, whatever happens, we'll look forward to seeing you, and hopefully you'll be able to get some points. Desi, thank you very much for joining me, mate. Okay, we are going to go with our place up in second, Basabi, a Dutch friend. Basabi, mate, I mean, what a fight back that was. I mean, considering obviously it didn't go well for you, obviously, at one point during the race, because obviously you plummeted down when you got, I think, held up by your own teammate. I think it was Marty FIFA. But seriously, to call it back down to second place, mate, I mean, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how I ended up in P2. But the way I got into P14 or 15 was under the first safety car. I got hit from behind, so then the game gives both you and the guy that hit you a 5-second penalty. So, well, I just thought, let's take it in the under safety car. It will cost me less time, and it did in the end. I would have made it on with the hard tires to the end, but then there was another safety car, so I boxed and had a couple of battles and had some fun.
Definitely, but absolutely. But we'll say this though: for qualification, and we don't tend to. I mean, for interviews, we always talk about the race, but for qualification, I mean, I don't know if you saw the times, but it was absolutely impeccably close at one point. So the fact that everyone was probably within, well, a couple of thousandths of each other. I mean, you don't get qualifications like that. I mean, could there be sort of people where they are coming in now that they could definitely compete? Because usually it's 2 or 3 horse race in a championship. Do you feel that people are starting to come into the fray a little bit?
I don't want to be bad against other people, but I think it's just a track because you have turn 1, 3, then you have 5, 6 in the last corner. So it's five or six corners when you can win or lose time, and that's then it gets close because next week in Hungary you have way more turns. You have to be way more careful with track limits and the track. So I think it's more track specific, but it was fun. I screwed up I screwed up the exit on my last lap in quali, so that's why I ended up P5. So yeah, but it was fun. It's nice to see people so close together, and I think we should have that more in this league.
Oh, definitely. I mean, so far, Tier 1 and so far has not given any sort of like any indication that it's boring. But let's face it, it's a fun league to be in, especially on a fun track like this. It's not exactly the oval, but still, it's still a good race. Obviously, the remaining tracks we've got, obviously, Hungary obviously is not going to be ideal, of course, unfortunately, especially for I think a few people, because it's pretty much a track for position. But you've also got Monaco, France, Mexico, Italy, and Brazil. If I remember you correctly, I think you and me had a discussion at one point. I think you said out of all of them, you said you were looking forward to Mexico the most. Is that still standing?
Yeah, it's a fun track. I think I said last time that there's lots of different corners, slow corners, quick corners, and a long straight. So it's nice to overtake, and there's a lot of strategy involved. So I think it's still one of my favorites of this calendar.
No. Anyway, Desi, congratulations on the second place, mate. Congratulations, seriously, and we'll look forward to obviously once again seeing you. I believe in 2 weeks' time, because I think Tier 1 are having a week break, so we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, see you. Bye.
Right. Who else we got? We've got now the. I think we did have it, and I think he's gone now. We did have Tim1404, but I believe he's gone now for the Racing Point. Oh no, I believe he's come back. Tim1404. Unfortunately, mate, it went well for you at the start, mate, but unfortunately it then sort of dwindled and you started to fall back. I mean, go through us what happened bit by bit.
Yeah, it didn't quite work out as I want. Yeah, the quali, I got a five placed penalty for absolute no. So I was P11 in the end. Not really put in softs. But yeah, it was just all unfortunate. The luck didn't really came my way.
I think we may be having a bit of connections issues with you, Tim, because unfortunately you're coming out sort of like patchy. But I mean, obviously we just had a word with obviously with Bisabi. Obviously he says his favourite track at the moment coming up is Mexico. Obviously he says it's obviously different strategies, so many corners, long pitch straight. But I'm going to read them back to you. The Hungary, Monaco, France, Mexico, Italy, and Brazil. Out of all of them, I mean, what do you think is the track that you will shine? I think we may have lost Tim 144. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I switched mics. So.
All right, okay, that's fine.
Sorry, I didn't hear. So.
Oh, sorry. So yeah, Hungary, Monaco, France, Mexico, Italy, and Brazil. Those are the last remaining tracks, obviously, for this calendar. I mean, Basabi said obviously that Mexico is a fun one. It has different corners. It has yeses. It has different strategies. It has many overtaking opportunities. Especially you got back-to-back straights, especially on the pitch straight when it's really long. So plenty of time to overtake. What would you say out of all of them? Would you say is like the one that you would shine? Hungary, Monaco, France, Mexico, Italy, or Spain? Not Spain, Brazil even.
I think Hungary. Not really Canada for me, because yeah, I'm just slow at most of those tracks. But Hungary, I have quite decent pace, especially over one lap. So feeling good for that.
Definitely. Obviously, you raced with my teammate today, ANY Jan. Have you guys? Did you guys speak to before the race, or was it just literally just get down, knuckle on, just crack on?
Yeah, just that. Not really any conversation or something.
No conversation at all. That's fine. Well, I'm just saying he is a nice guy. But obviously, if you guys didn't talk, that's fair. Anyway, thank you, Tim. Anyway, for joining us. Thank you very much. I believe that will be it for us for this evening. Now, what a race it has been here in the desert. Literally overtaking, crashes, safety cars, and so much more. Can we seriously get this again in Hungary? We can only wait and see. Thank you very much, guys, for joining me. I would once again say Matt isn't here anymore, but I wanted to say thank you very much for Matt for joining me once again. And we shall see you next week.